The tools, products, and techniques in this video are intended for use by adult modelers. Anyone under the age of 13 should always have adult supervision when using said tools, products, and techniques.
Now, back to G.I. Joe.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Painted Plastic. Brandon here with episode 4 of the custom Cobra G.T.P heavy arms build. For this one, we're going to get started on the driver, right? And I have him right here. He is made up of a Crimson Guard Immortal head, Monkeywrench version 1 arms, Sci-Fi version 2 body, and crystal ball waist and legs. And those are the 4 characters that sort of make up Constrictor here. I've been calling him Constrictor. For the color scheme, we're going to go real similar to the GTP. So hopefully we'll get this guy all painted up, get a file card made, and yeah, then we'll be ready for the reveal. So first of all, just going to take him apart. If you've never taken a G.I. Joe apart, it could not be simpler. There's a screw in the back. Simply undo that screw, and I've got a little bucket here that I put stuff in. Undo that screw, and then the whole torso will just come apart. Just like that. Fall to pieces. We are not going to be painting everything. I'm going to take his O-ring, put that in the bucket. The head will get painted. The torso will get painted, and in fact I'm going to reconnect the torso just so the paint lines match up. Just like that. And we are going to paint the leg, this leg, the gun holster. I'm going to leave this leg the same, or original, I should say, not the same. And then the waist, I'm going to paint the belt, right? So that'll be it for Constrictor. Let's get some paint and get started on this guy. All right, let's get started on the head. I'm going to paint this first. Only going to use 2 colors here. Actually that's not entirely true. He's got a little teeny paint rub on his nose. I don't know if you'll even be able to make that out, but so I'm going to touch that with some black, but otherwise just going to use these 2 colors. Going to make the helmet green and the lenses gunmetal. So that's what we're going to do first. I think I'm going to start with the green. Shake, 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 shake. All right. Should have grabbed my mixer. And I've got a big old brush here. Much bigger than what I need, but that's okay. And do I have a paint palette? That'll do. It's used, but that's okay. Get a little alcohol, blob that on my palette, and get a dab of paint. Mix that with a little alcohol to thin. And here we go. Let that dry and we'll do another coat. While I have the green, I think we'll go ahead and do the shirt. I wanted to do that green. Get a little more paint, a little more thinner. Alright, there we go. Coat number 1. Alright, I'm going to go off and do the second coats on the green, and then we'll move on to the next color. Be right back. Alright everybody, second coat is pretty well dry. I may do a third. I don't know, I can't tell if, what do you think? I don't know, looks a little light in some spots. May go back and do a third coat, but for now we're going to move on and we're going to paint a little gunmetal. I want his visor to be gunmetal instead of silver. I'm almost out of gunmetal, and that's because I love this color. This is one of my all-time favorite colors. A little bit of alcohol. I've also bumped down my brush size just a little bit, since this is a little finer detail. And get a little paint. And here we go. Alright everybody, so the paint job is done. As you can see, I changed the lenses. The gunmetal was a little bit too dark between the green and the black, so yep, changed it to yellow. I think that kind of stands out a little bit better. So the next thing we need to do before we move over to the file card is just give this a quick clear coat. And for that, we're just going to brush on some Pledge. This is the clear coat. Normally I spray this through the airbrush, but for this guy, we're just going to brush it on real quick. Of course, I've got it in a smaller bottle just for ease. And I'm just going to put a few drops down here. We won't need much. This will probably get 2 coats. You know, one good coat, let it dry, put another coat on. But literally just kind of slap it all around. Don't have to be very neat and tidy. Pledge will self-level. And yeah. So just really quickly. And there we go. 1 coat done. For the torso, I'm only doing the areas that I painted. All right, I'm going to let this dry and give it another coat once they're good and dry. And in the meantime, we will start working on the file card. Be right back. Alright everybody, let's start working on the file card. To do that I use a program called Gimp. It's basically like a Photoshop, but it's a free program. And I'll just open up the template here. I've got a template that I've used for a long time. I actually have two templates that I use. This is the gray file card for sort of the 86 to 89 time frame. I also have a peach file card and a few other templates that I use, but yeah, so the first thing I'm going to do is add the Cobra logo. Since this is a Cobra figure, it'll have a Cobra logo in the corner. I'm just going to scale that down so it'll fit properly. There we go. Move that into place. If this were a G.I. Joe, it would have a, or if it were a good guy, it would have a G.I. Joe logo there, obviously. And then we are ready to start filling in some information. Basically just make some text box and just type in whatever you want it to say. I do use an actual file card for reference in terms of, you know, size of letters and all that stuff, but so once you've got whatever you want, you just position it, and yeah, that's sort of how that works. Obviously that's not what I wanted to say, but I've already filled in these frames here. It's the G.T.P driver, codename's Constrictor, and again I use an actual file card to reference the size and all, and then just do the same thing on the, you know, this is the bio box if you're familiar with file cards, where it'd have his name and occupation and all that stuff. Or not occupation, but military specialty. Yep, and you just fill that in, same as the other, just like that. And then just move it around, position it however you want it to look. I've already got these written out, so got the file name section there. The bio, and then typically at the bottom there was a quote, so I just added a little quote. So the last thing we need to do is add a photo, so we will get on that and add a photo to the file card. Alright, here we go. So I took a quick photo of Constrictor, and I decided to resize it before I brought it into Gimp. Typically if you scale it in Gimp, it loses some resolution, so yeah, I scaled it down beforehand. Now it's just a matter of getting it in place, and then putting it behind the file card. The only thing left to do now is print it out, and I glue it to a piece of card just with you know, regular old glue stick. So yep, let's head back over to the bench and we'll take a look at this finished custom driver. Alright everybody, here we go. Got Constrictor all finished up. As you can tell, I made a few changes from the original paint job. Changed his lenses yellow. The reason for that is I just didn't like the gunmetal between the gray, or the black and the green. Seemed a little too dark, so brightened him up a little bit. But yeah, other than that, it's pretty much just like we did in the paint section. So, and then of course the file card. We saw how we did that. Basically, I just print that out on regular old paper, right? And then it gets glued to a piece of cardstock, right? Cut it out, and there it is. So that's our custom driver for the G.T.P Constrictor. Yep, had a lot of fun making this guy, and I think he's gonna look pretty good driving the custom vehicle we built. So That's it for this episode. This is the last episode before the reveal. Now, keep in mind that my day for Cobra Convergence is the 29th, which is a Saturday. So next week's video will not be on Sunday, it'll be on Saturday. Stay tuned for that. That'll be the reveal of the GTP, and everything will be all finished up. So, yep. As always, thanks for hanging out with me. Hope you enjoyed Constrictor, and we will see you Saturday. Bye-bye.
Hey, great treehouse! I built it in 2 days, and I didn't even follow any plans. Why waste time?
Hold on!
Whoa!
Gotcha!
Quick kick! I guess I was in too big of a hurry.
Remember, anything worth doing is worth planning. If you don't plan...
You're out on a limb. Now I know.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe!